Now at 6, the heavy rain has just about wrapped up for the day. Windshield wipers were likely on high for the morning commute, but for tonight's drive home, they're probably not being used at all. Thanks for being with us. I'm Brent Harden. We've ended the weather impact alert early. Let's give it over to Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank with why. Rach?
Yeah, it looks like the threat for any flooding issues is over at this point, Brent, which is great news. We're also not expecting any additional severe storms as a cold front is just giving us the grand finale, a leftover shower, gusty downpour in parts of the state. And then we are done. So getting a closer look at some of the last showers to pass through. Putnam is seeing them coming through at this moment, but just about to exit. We're also seeing them enter into New London County as well before coming on out of here. And along with the rain, we are going to bring also down the humidity. And that means we've got a really beautiful night setting up where you can open the windows again. Plainville, one of the spots at the top of the charts with over 4 inches of rain. Windsor Locks 2, Westbrook with 4 inches of rain. I also saw Farmington with right around 4 inches as well. And there were some high totals in southeastern Connecticut too. Waterbury clocking in at 3.5 inches of rain. So for some folks, this is a month's worth of rain just over 24 hours. Taking a look at the humidity tracker, down we go as we head through the evening and overnight, so it should feel comfy by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. Overnight lows will be in the 50s to near 60, and tomorrow looks like a beaut with lots of sun, low humidity, and highs near average. But the humidity and storms don't stay away for too long. We'll explain coming up, Brent.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, a tree fell onto a coach bus on I-95 in Westport this morning. 3 passengers on the bus were hurt, although no one needed to be hospitalized. Firefighters said it happened around 6:45 near exit 18, and they said the tree shattered one of the bus's windows. The 3 ultimately landed in the road, blocking all of the lanes, which of course caused traffic backups there. And the heavy rain led to flooding across the state today, and it forced part of Rocky Neck State Park to close. The flooding left some campgrounds underwater and sent families scrambling to change their plans. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson spoke to families who had to change their plans because of the weather.
Yeah, Brent, workers here at the state park tell me as soon as you go into the tunnel to go to the beach, the floodwaters are right up to your knees. Now, when this happened, they needed to close some of those day use areas for the park, but the campgrounds behind me are still open. However, those families over there are still dealing with flooding. It's a tradition for many campers at Rocky Neck State Park campgrounds. It's a summer family vacation spot for people like Victoria Dodge. She's seen her fair share of soggy camping trips.
Every summer we get a little rainy day, but this is worse. This is one of the worst ones we've had in a long time. I was planning on showing her around, taking her to town, but now we're kind of just settled in for the day. The flooding, I haven't seen it flood so bad. I mean, our campsite before was almost like a swimming pool. I mean, across the street there was a tent that was like a foot underwater.
Dodge has vacationed at the campgrounds annual since she was a baby. It's her friend Elizabeth Merle's first time coming to the campgrounds. She says she was looking for all it had to offer.
I got here yesterday, and yesterday was a good day, but today we woke up and it was already flooded. So obviously our plans had changed for the day. But I mean, we're still trying to make the best out of it. We're making food outside still, so we're still outside.
Even though Dodge and Merrill prepared for the rain, the weather still took them by surprise.
This whole tent was collapsed, so I had to restake it down, and I was still in my pajamas, so I was getting soaked, and then I had to tilt the awning, and that took us a little bit. That was my first time being here alone without my parents to like kind of help out, like prepare for the rain. So we kind of prepared for it last night because we were checking the weather, but but we had to bring the bikes in, all the chairs in, our towels in, so.
Outside of Dodge and Merrill, other families had to make the most of the day as well. Even though the beach was closed, one family sent us pictures of them having fun in the water. The entire front area of their camp lot flooded, and they decided to use floaties and create a makeshift pool for the day. One of the family members said she booked a hotel for the night because too much water got in her tent to sleep in. Tomorrow should look a lot better for the park goers. However, skies look a lot clearer, and workers here tell me they anticipate being able to open the beach again. At Rocky Neck, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
Well, the heavy rain this morning made the drive difficult for people who work in the Big Apple. Roads in Westwood, New Jersey were shut down due to high water levels. One man said this isn't the first time he has seen flooding like this, so when the rain came, he and his neighbors were ready.
We moved all our cars up the street. So we're up on a hill, we all move our cars out, because a couple years back, Hurricane Ida, we lost probably 50, 60 cars in the building. I lost my truck, my wife's car, and so that was a learning experience.
Drivers in Newark had to push their cars off the road after they stalled. There were also service delays on the rails after a train on the Long Island Railroad crashed into a fallen tree. You can download the free Fox 61 News app for the latest updates on the forecast. You can also track the rain using the 24/7 radar. Also, turn push notifications on to not miss a single update. The New Haven community is mourning the loss of 13-year-old King Best tonight. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner says Best died by suicide after jumping from a Boston Post Road bridge into the West River Thursday. His body was found Sunday. This afternoon, friends, family, and community members gathered on the bridge to honor his memory with flowers and balloons and a balloon release. New Haven Mayor Justin Elicker remembered Best as a bright light and a leader at school, as neighbors also called for additional safety measures on the bridge. A person is seriously hurt after they were hit by a car in East Hartford today. Police said it happened on Main Street by West Brewer Street. The road was closed for the investigation but has since reopened. We'll let you know when we learn any more details. And there's good news for thousands of people who were impacted by two water main breaks on Tompkins Street in Waterbury last week. We learned within the last little while that the city lifted its boil water advisory, and that means people can use their tap water like they would normally. The city is encouraging people to run the faucet for a few minutes to allow clean water to flush the pipes. The Connecticut primary is next week, but you can cast your votes now. Today is the first day of the early voting period. We'll have more on that in a moment. In the meantime, one of the major races on the ballot is for Connecticut's 2nd State Senate district. That district is made up of parts of Hartford, Bloomfield, and Windsor. The candidates took part in a forum hosted by the Greater Hartford African American Alliance. And Fox 61's Alicia Hercules spoke with the candidates about what they hope to achieve in office.
The three candidates vying for the Democratic nomination in the 2nd Senate District say they want voters to consider what issues they value most and which candidate will fight for a solution to those issues. Incumbent State Senator Douglas McCory, State Representative Miriam Khan, and Windsor Education President Ayanna Taylor all took the stage at the debate to discuss the topics most important to them and their campaigns. McCory addressed concerns about how he allocated public funds to nonprofits and businesses in the North End, something the FBI has been looking into. He said despite that investigation, the people he's spoken with are focused on issues like health care and education.
I've been out knocking on doors, maybe over 8,000 doors. And not one person asked me one question about Blue Hills or anything that's going on with me in regards to that.
One thing McCory doesn't have in this race, the backing of the state Democratic Party. That backing went to Representative Miriam Khan, who said it's time for a change.
I think it's shown that the district and the party is ready for a change, and that the change also needs to be bold and ready to take on what is needed.
McCory said he's still confident in his campaign, even though he lost the party's support.
My reputation speaks for itself, so I don't think it has any impact on how they perceive me, because they look at my work and they look at how I have delivered even before I was elected official.
Khan says if she's elected as state senate, she's hoping to make much needed changes to public school systems.
Mostly being properly funding our public schools, making sure the resources are there, and then looking at the structural problems that were created over the years.
Ayanna Taylor said her experience as the president of Windsor's Board of Education has set her up for success at the Capitol.
That has prepared me in large part for this role, because if you don't know how municipalities work, how will you ever be ready for the state legislature?
She said being an advocate for children and families and having deep ties to the community makes her the better candidate over her competitors.
If they want someone tried, true, and trusted, that's Ayanna Taylor.
Early voting is underway ahead of primary day next Tuesday, August 11th. In Hartford, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Alicia, thank you. So again, early voting began today and continues through Sunday, August 9th. Each city and town has at least one designated location where you can vote. For more information on what's on your ballot and where to vote, visit our website at fox61.com. President Donald Trump's pick for Attorney General, Todd Blanche, might finally have the support needed to get confirmed. That's after Blanche, who is the acting Justice Department head for now, late yesterday formally rescinded the anti-weaponization fund in writing. That means a demand from 2 Republican holdouts on the Senate Judiciary Committee, which now will vote tomorrow. The anti-weaponization fund is supposed to be for people who claim the Justice Department victimized them. It stems from a settlement between Trump and the IRS. Critics have described the $1.8 billion fund as a slush fund for Trump's allies. They worry it could even go to people involved in the January 6th Capitol riot. In a joint statement today, Senators John Cornyn and Tom Tillis said they were pleased with the DOJ's order to terminate the fund. Well, the first known deaths tied to the cyclosporiasis outbreak have now been reported. Today, Michigan health officials said 2 people died after becoming infected with the parasite that causes explosive diarrhea. Both reportedly had serious underlying health conditions. CDC says more than 18,000 cases have been identified nationwide, including 77 here in Connecticut. This comes as investigators track several outbreaks, including a major one in the Midwest. The outbreak has been linked to recalled iceberg lettuce supplied by Taylor Farms. Coming up in about 30 minutes, we'll tell you how Connecticut leaders are pushing for answers. Police in Idaho said the gunman who opened fire at a newly opened In-N-Out restaurant died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound after an off-duty state trooper and an armed citizen returned fire. Investigators say 24-year-old Chad Williams acted alone in Saturday's shooting in Twin Falls. 4 people, including the suspect, were killed and 7 others were hurt.
We know there have been multiple comments online about multiple shooters. We can confirm that there was an off-duty state trooper and a citizen who actively engaged the suspect by returning gunfire towards him. We want to take a moment and commend the actions of the off-duty officer and the citizen in their heroic action to stop this incident. We believe their actions helped drive the suspect away from the scene, preventing further casualties.
Authorities are still trying to determine the motive. Police say the suspect's family is cooperating with investigators.